This is Frank Radice, and it's the Red Touch Media continuing series on the future of content. And we're here with Shannon Morse and Darren Kitchen from Hak5. Guys, it's been a year since we've seen you. What have you done new since then?
I know. Can we tell them about it?
Yeah, I guess we can. Sure. We introduced the 5th version of our product, and we built it from the ground up. You know, it was very exciting to actually, rather than, find something off the shelf, actually build something that never existed before. Oh, yeah.
Our product.
Yeah, it's really exciting to make a thing, and that's really cool because in this day and age, people like us can actually get out there and have the means to do this. We 3D printed cases, made sure that our PCB fit, and we're able to bring a very unique Wi-Fi hacking device to market.
So I see it's got a pineapple on it, which is usually the image that you see when you... It's a pineapple, which is usually the image that you see when you've broken a phone. They'll pop a pineapple up. Is there some significance to that? Or is it like a hand grenade?
Well, actually, the hand grenade was the original inspiration, and when we actually first joined Revision 3, I don't think we've ever told this story, but the name of the pineapple came about because we told Jim Louderback, CEO of Revision 3, hey, we've got a really cool segment for our first episode with you guys. It's about and I didn't know what to call it at the time. I was like, it's like a Wi-Fi grenade. And he's like, oh, that's really cool. So he blogged on the Revision 3 blog saying, hey, Hak5's coming to Revision 3. Make sure to tune into the first episode. It has something to do with a pineapple. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant.
Yes,
oh, we're keeping that.
Perfect.
So
we actually put it in a live pineapple the first time that we built one. One of the original routers. We stuck it inside of a live pineapple.
Yeah, we cored it out.
He took one through the TSA. He took
not
a
a live
plastic
pineapple.
cup
Yeah.
of pineapple through the TSA, and they thought it was a grenade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they took a picture of it. They saw something inside of it and said, "What's that?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I had to explain, oh, it's my novelty router. And the TSA was like, oh, that's so cute.
Oh, little plastic pineapple. How adorable.
Yeah. So
now it looks a little less ominous,
So if I had one of these, what would I do with it?
I mean, you could use it for signals intelligence, surveillance. You could use it to rickroll your friends. It's basically a honeypot that allows you to become a man in the middle, which means when your friends' phones and tablets and laptops connect to it, you can see all the traffic going in between. You can modify it. You can change all the web pages to have kittens for every photo.
Because you can't do enough with cats at all.
No,
Exactly.
no, it's great for harvesting
great
passwords and
example
putting
would
kittens
be-
on the internet.
Yeah, if you have a feeling that one of your neighbors has been illegally snooping on your Wi-Fi, or they've been using your Wi-Fi without paying for it, or without asking for your password, or maybe they asked for your password years ago and they've been doing. Yeah, oh yeah. If you have like an open access point or something, your neighbors will totally get on it. I mean, if they don't know any better.
Yeah.
So you could rickroll them. You could send them over to cat websites. You could redirect them to a photo of your favorite kitten.
So that's cool. I really like that. What is the topic of conversation that you guys are having right now out there that's like the most important thing on your minds? Is it what's been going on with this whole struggle with security? Is that the big story?
Well, the awakening is really exciting because finally we don't have to look like tinfoil hat people anymore. We can just, not say told you so, but be like, see, we're not crazy, and that's really nice. I feel like the NSA did everybody a really great thing by kind of waking everybody up to the concept of the lack of privacy, and then maybe, I don't know, it's, if anything, it's done a lot to spur innovation in actually having surveillance-resistant communication. And so now
security. It's security for the security.
So the NSA has done a brilliant job of actually awakening Americans to understand that everything that they do online is under surveillance, and that's done a lot in innovation to bring about some really cool products that actually enable privacy, and that's the best thing about this.
What is another one of the big topics of conversation that's out there right now?
Topics of conversation. I'm brain farting right now because my main thing was going to be the NSA.
Well, look, I mean, I think a lot of people were really afraid and really scared, and then the question becomes, was it right to let that information out? And obviously, if the end product of it is that we're going to have better security, not just as a country, I mean better security products created because of it, that's a good thing.
Well, there's one cool thing that we've recently discovered as well, is that a lot of consumer devices have completely open Wi-Fi because it makes it easier for consumers to use. But in the fact that they have this open Wi-Fi, it's super easy to hack. So for example, he was playing with drones. He was able to take one drone, put a Wi-Fi pineapple on it, pull it over to another drone, and just access this and make the other drone fall out of the sky.
So that makes me that makes that makes me
really fun.
that makes me a little bit that makes me think about the Internet of Everything and what everybody's calling the Internet of Everything, and everything is internet enabled, whether it's your bed or your refrigerator or your cat. I mean,
You know, I saw two great examples of that earlier at the show today. The first was a Wi-Fi enabled doorbell that had a webcam on it, and then it had an app that tied into it so that when somebody rung your doorbell, you could see live video of them. And it just, piggybacks on your home Wi-Fi network. But that brings in a whole bunch of awesome ideas of like, oh, well, what if we can hack this doorbell? What can we do with it?
Yeah.
Can we change the image so it looks like it's somebody different, but it's actually your stalker, like, posing as the UPS man? I don't know. It's really cool. And then the other one was actually by Kwikset. It's called the Kivo, and it's a Bluetooth-enabled lock. And when I first saw it, I was like, that is brilliant, because I carry around keys like everybody else, but it's a single factor of authentication. They were showing off a deadbolt that had Bluetooth, so the first thing I thought was, this is brilliant. Now, not only do I need my key, but I also need my smartphone as two factors to authenticate with it and actually, open the door. I asked them about it, and it turns out I was totally wrong in my initial assumption. It's just that, no, instead of carrying around your key, you can just carry around your phone, which is
That's
idiotic.
Totally insecure.
Yeah, not because
So bad.
When I first saw it, I actually thought the same thing. I said, wow, two things. This is going to be great. And what happens if I forget my key? What happens if I forget my key? I use my phone. What happens if I only use my phone? Somebody's going to hack it.
Right, and I actually asked them, like, hey, what's the underlying security here? Are you using, like, open source Blowfish? Are you using Diffie-Hellman? How are you doing your key exchange? And they're like, can't talk about that. And I'm like, well, do you not know, or can you not talk about it? They're like, well, we don't disclose how
Is it
the system works.
proprietary? Or, well, you know what's going to happen, though? The hackers are going to figure out how it works real fast.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to, firmware update your deadbolt? Come on.
That's so bad. That's why I would never put any kind of wireless or Bluetooth-enabled device on my front door.
Well, you
no
see,
way.
now I have these two cameras in my house. And they're very simply set up cameras. They're not these very complicated that I have to go through all this rigmarole to do it. I plug them into my computer, boom, they're on. Then I go stick them up, one in the living room, one facing outside, and every day, aside from the fact that when I'm on the road, I'm checking on my cat, every once in a while, I'm checking on my wife. And so I'm wondering, well, wait a minute, isn't this really easy to hack? And so anybody out there can look at all the stuff I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Or you want to go look at my cameras?
Most people don't know about this website called Shodan. They should go and check it out. It allows you to, they basically scan the entire internet every day, and there are a lot of really insecure wireless webcams that you can just peek into, and there are like maps of these all around the world, and people don't even know that they're insecure, and most people don't know to update their firmware, and it's...
There's baby monitors. There's like a Domino's Pizza somewhere has one set up in their back office, so you can see what's going on in their office just via the internet. It's terrible.
And so what this is an example of, the same thing that we were just talking about with the deadbolt or with the doorbell, is you have, like you said, it was really easy for you to put those up. So that is convenience.
Yeah.
And that convenience is at the detriment of security every time, because security is not easy.
Well, that's why you need to know about Hak5. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Darren Kitchen, Shannon Morse from Hak5. This is Frank Radice for Red Touch Media, continuing series on the future of content. See you later.